Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and these are your February 2025 horoscope. February is the prelude to the most intense period of 2025, which will be March and April, because all the planets will be passing through Pisces and Aries in March and April, going retrograde, eclipses, changing signs. Oh, so exciting. But February is the preparation month with some very positive effects that we'll receive from the universe. First of all, it's Jupiter is turning direct. Here it is, my calendar, my 2025 calendar. You can have it now. It's 200 pages, almost interactive. But first of all, Jupiter around the 4th turns direct. And this is a great blessing. When Jupiter turns direct, here is the text for it, but you can start seeing results and rewards for previous actions. We can get the blessings from above, resolutions of moral problems of some sort, just the turning of the winds. Jupiter becomes much more stronger. I call it like double Jupiter when it starts turning direct, because it's energy, it's basically stationary pretty much the whole of February around the 11th 12 degrees of Gemini, and it's a very auspicious degree because right behind Jupiter, where it's turning direct and it's going to become stronger and things will start moving forward for us, it's the most auspicious star in the sky, the star Aldebaran, which in ancient astrology is the star of wealth, of blessings, of fortune. So this is a good omen for the finances of the world. Jupiter is turning direct there. So hopefully, generally, all of us will see some financially, some improvement in your personal life. It will depend where it affects you, what kind of blessings this Jupiter with Aldebaran will bring. The bullseye, the luckiest star. But yes, that's the one good side of it. And we're going to have Venus entering into Aries, where it's going to stay 3 months, the whole of February, the whole of March, then it skips April, and the whole of May. So when Venus is so long in a sign, it's going to give us blessings there in certain area of our life. Think back to 2017 around the spring. There was a similar situation there, but I'll go through each of the 12 signs to see. Venus always improves and makes better whatever area it passes through, despite of its retrograde motion, which will start in March. Its final goal is to make something perfect, more balanced, more worthy of our time, more pleasant, more easy to receive help there in some way, to improve it, to make it better. So certain areas of your life you're going to be making better and improving. And another big event is that Mars is turning direct towards the end of February, 23 degrees. It's been retrograde December, January, most of February. As I said, I expect this Mars retrograde to bring changes, corrections of the prices of real estate, of borders, of countries, and maybe stalling back wars because Mars is moving retrograde in some way. But there will be kind of like maybe endings of fights, of battles, or easing off of difficulties in such areas. If there was problems, they start getting fixed. If there was inflammatory conditions, flus, hopefully will become less so, and energy and productivity will increase. You might see the results of working hard on something and starting to see the results of it. And emotionally, people will not be as tense and so sensitive and touchy as they are during Mars retrograde. But that's mostly towards the end of the month that we'll see those improvements. And the other big event that is happening is the North Node with Neptune. We've never seen this in our lifetime, and we'll never see it again, because Neptune will never be again in Pisces, and North Node with Neptune in Pisces is once in a lifetime experience. They're joining together. The whole February, March is under its influence. They're within a degree all the time together. It's going to get surreal, guys. Neptune is otherworldly planet. Pisces is otherworldly energy. North Node, wherever it goes and joins Neptune in Pisces, it's like you're in some LSD trip. Some of you will be waking up and wondering, do I live on Earth, or what is this different reality? I'm a parallel world of some sort. You'll see it maybe on the news that it's a lot of new energy. North Node starts a new cycle with Neptune for which will be 16 years old, but it's very Piscean. It's unfamiliar. Pisces is unfamiliar. It feels foreign. It's very different. You're waking up in a new world, in a new reality. This will happen in your personal life as well. And also intuition will be through the roof this month. People will be dreaming about past events, past life, future events, because the wall between the worlds thin with this really like a portal to another dimension, Neptune and North Node together. So in some areas of your life, depending where it falls from your ascendant, sun or moon, you might have like epiphanies. God might show you directly through your third eye or through intuitions and hunches and inspirations, some secrets that were revealed for you and that you'll become aware of. But also there is a negative side to Neptune North Node, because all the negative vibrations of Pisces and Neptune can escalate through the North Node. Fears, blame, guilt, fear of the unknown, this kind of low vibrational emotions that is just fears, paranoia, suspicions as well, victimhood states. And so be careful, stay at the high vibrations the whole 2 months, February and March. I would advise you, if you can listen to classical music, to bring in the high vibrations of Neptune, North Node, Pisces, be around nature more, have introspective time alone. We're going to have a lot of Pisces planets, as you can see, not just February, but March and April. So many planets will be there. It's going to be crazy. So this inner work and introspection is good to do, but something magical can come through Neptune North Node, because they open portals to the astral. If you're connected to the high astral, if you're naturally forgiving, kind person, if you can let go of the past, if you can let go of things that no longer serve you, you can have like a divine gift of blessing. Neptune is divine love, unconditional love, and divine grace. And the North Node enhances it in Pisces. So like a miraculous events and even actual miracles, I don't know, Fatima scale can happen around the world, but in your personal life as well, where you're freed from karmas you've been carrying for a long time. Pisces is the last time of paying off the karma. Neptune is also the same energy. The North Node is, kind of escalates all this. So you pay off some debt and you're freed from something. A miracle happens in your life. Like God gives you through unconditional love, not because you deserve it, because God is loving, the Creator is loving. If you turn towards in a prayerful condition, an introspective condition, if you give yourself time after you wake up to go within, there can be some true miracles that happen. And just dreams will be crazy. Just to warn you, Neptune with the North Node, you might be dreaming of things that very vivid dreams that come to the surface, sometimes almost real. Like, just be aware, maybe a bit more rest in February and in March with the so many Pisces energies. But Mars is turning direct, so things will start becoming. But Mars turns direct at the end of February, and Venus and Mercury turn retrograde in March. So it's non-stop February, March. So January, February, March, April. After April, things start becoming much more smoother, guys. But just the preparation phase, and use the Piscean energy of Neptune and the North Node to manifest. And Saturn is there. Neptune is a high ideal. Connect yourself to high refined feelings through art, through music, through imagining how you want things to be, the ideal version of it. And Saturn is there, can make it happen over the next 2-3 months to manifest it. Use this connection to the higher world, so otherwise you don't want to connect to the inner fears, the lower astral, and deception. You have to be careful with Neptune North Node. There'll be many charismatic figures that appear, prophets, gurus, saviors of the world. Neptune Pisces is to save, and people feel very excited about that. But the bubble will quickly burst if such figures are not truthful and aligned to divine order, whether they're rulers, leaders, or people in your personal life. If they're promising you the moon and the stars, which these halls will be very high in February, March, because in April, the North Node and Saturn join together. So the bubble will burst. Saturn is a corrective influence down to earth, And if you don't see results, you have to correct something, or you see the lies, or if it was like a proper inspirational figure or idea you had, you can start manifesting it towards April. This ideal that comes to you now, this inspiration that you divinely download. So wow, what a magical, what a surreal, what another worldly energy we are gonna have. It's gonna get weird, it's gonna get fantastic, it's gonna get intense emotionally. And let's dive into the 12 signs. If you want my personal horoscope for each of the 12 signs for 2025, I'm putting a link below. Each 2.5 hours for each sign. I've poured my soul and heart in them. We sold thousands so far, no refunds, no one has asked for one. People are loving them. If you want to try for your personal sign, I recommend Ascendant. And if you want all 3 Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it's a discount price. Putting a link below, or the calendar, so you know what is happening every day of the year. But now let's begin for the 12 signs. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, February 2025. Virgo, from the beginning of the month, Jupiter in your 10th house is turning direct. And basically, for about 20 days, it stays pretty much at the same degree, which is very stationary. And I always say that when Jupiter is stationary, especially turning direct, it becomes extra double strong. And that's why I'm putting 2 Jupiters here, as if for a period in this month, you're going to have like a double whammy influence in your 10th house of Jupiter. And because it's turning direct, it's for good. If there were any complications with your career, with bosses, with institutions, with authority figures, which are all symbolized by the 10th house. If there were any delays for some career project or something to do with some achieving some goal, which you see, this is the highest house in the horoscope, achieving a goal, being recognized, being seen, being active. If your actions have been stalled back or delayed or in some way not happening much, now when Jupiter starts turning direct in February with its double whammy influence, something will happen, something will start, maybe something will start clarifying in your mind about the direction of your career, having more clarity and where to head, or some complications will get, or some stuck situation will get unstuck and you can start moving forward. For example, like getting a job, or getting results for work well done, or maybe for some of you might be a promotion or a different kind of job. And think that this is not just in February. Jupiter will be moving direct. In February, it's very strong because it's like stationary direct. There's double whammy influence where there needs to be pressure and more energy, which is when a stationary planet brings more kind of intensity, let's say, more gravitas, weight, to turn things around for you in this area of your life. And after that, till June, Jupiter will be in your 10th house moving forward. So you have the next 5 months basically with the green light and to move forward with new goals in your career, in your worldly actions, with new inspirations, the new opportunities to complete a project or to start something new, to get a higher level in the social ladder of, or to improve your reputation in some way, or your public position as well. And also matters connected to authority figures or institutions can be more benevolent towards you. You can reach out over the next 4 months, basically, to someone in authority or someone, a benevolent figure with more experience, and they can be of help to you. You have no idea how many people I've seen launch their career or succeed professionally in some aspect, or discover the direction they have to go when Jupiter was in the 10th house. Usually I look from the ascendant only, but there is influence to some degree as well from the sun and moon signs as well. The other big event is that Venus is entering your 8th house and is going to be there till the end of May almost. It just dips into Pisces, your 7th house, in April for a little bit, but February, March, May, it's going to be in Aries. And this month it's direct. In March, it turns retrograde into your 8th house. And then in May is again direct into your 8th house. Wherever Venus goes, it improves the conditions of this house. Is the other benefic, the bigger benefic, the smaller benefic, actually for Virgo rising people or people with strong Virgo in their horoscope. Venus is a stronger benefic than Jupiter because it rules basically 9th house, which is a lucky house, and it's a trinal house in ancient astrology. So it rules the good karma for you. So Venus going into the 8th house for a long period for you, even though it will go retrograde, which can create some complications and need for corrections and rethinking. Its final goal is to improve the conditions of this 8th house. On the first level, 8th house can be in your intimate life. And you see how many planets you have in the 7th and then in the 8th house over the next 2-3 months. It's a big theme for you Virgos, people with strong Virgos. This is relationships, and the 7th house is other people and relationships. 8th house is also house of intimacy, where two are merging into one, merging their assets, whether it's a business partnership or marriage or sexual relationship, So Venus, if there's been some dry spell, maybe Venus can improve the intimacy over the next 3-4 months. Venus wants to show you when something is unbalanced and is not just unfair. So if someone's been giving more or taking more in a relationship, whether financially, emotionally, sexually, psychologically, it will become clearer and clearer for you, especially when Venus goes retrograde in March. So you can address those imbalances. And so you can, once they address, you can open yourself to trust another on a deeper level, which is the ultimate goal of the 8th house, merging with another, trusting another. But yeah, with so many planets in the 7th and the 8th house for the next 2-3 months for you Virgos, I think it's very important for you relationships, whether it's personal or more business related somehow, but it's on an intimate level, on a personal level. It can be those next 3 months for Virgos who are single can be the end of it, and others who are in more complicated relationships, they can get a lot of things clarified and either end it or upgrade the relationship and improve it after some difficult searching, but also some all those planets there will help you realize what is the wrong side of the relationship and how to rebalance it. Also, 8th house is the house of other people's resources, like we said. It might be psychological, financial, emotional help that comes from us to us from others. And Venus there, it's easier for us to get this when Venus is there, even though when it's retrograde. And when it's retrograde, maybe something that is owed to you from another will come back to you, or something you've been waiting for to receive back, like emotion or intimacy or financially can be, you can see it coming to you, or you might finally address it and say, okay, this is not fair. But Venus wants to make the game fair there, that you give and receive equally in personal and other relationships, might be relationships with clients as well. But it's easier to receive support from others when Venus is there for such a long time. Eventually, by the end of May, you might end up having received more support, maybe some investment that you want, and Venus there will allow you over the next 3-4 months someone to invest in your talent, in your skills, or you might discover skills and talents or useful resources in others which you can utilize in some way, because 8th house is other people's resources of any sort, and Venus can benefit you because you discover it, and Mercury will join their Venus. So Mercury is you. You might be invested in other people's resources, in other people's talents, abilities in some way, and that will bring back to you some rewards. Or another person with their resources can help you. Maybe a partner's finances over the next 3-4 months can improve personal business, or maybe you can think of a better strategy how to attract the resources of the clients, what you to offer them, or because 7, 8 and 2nd, 8th and 8th house, 7, 8 and 2nd house, and Venus rules your 2nd house and is in the 8th, rules the give and receive energy that flows between you and the universe, you and others. So maybe Venus will help you see better, more wise ways, more clever ways to that you give something more valuable, but also you receive more value as well in return. Or it wants to correct imbalances if you're giving somewhere too much, but it's not worth wasting your time because it's not worth it. You'll realize those things in the next few months. Also might be easier to get a loan or something for a mortgage, for example, or if you apply for alimony, there might be a theme that starts for you about money that you receive from others or support from government sometimes, so some loan as well. On another level, the eighth house, and Venus rules your ninth house, which is knowledge, light. And going in the eighth house, which is a house of darkness as well, and then it rules all those secretive things like intimacy, sex, loans. No one, everyone gets like, it's like, don't go there. And taboo topics. It's like a light is trying to be shined on those from a high understanding point, the rule of the ninth in the eighth, into those more taboo topics of intimacy, of obsessions and compulsions, what your obsessions and compulsions are, and so on. That you can have a breakthrough, psychological breakthrough, through some realization there. Your also the eighth house is house of occult, of house of secrets, of psychological realizations. Venus can really facilitate this process of some psychological healing, realization. Eighth house is, if you are anything, if you love astrology, if you love occult secrets, conspiracies, or getting to the bottom. A lot of people just look through the final results, superficial results of why something is the way it is, but this is about digging and research, and Venus will help you really enjoy any kind of research and digging into such secrets. But also some secrets will come up to the surface in interpersonal relationships, especially when Venus goes retrograde in March. There is something hidden that is blocking the connection deeper with someone, can appear, can be dug out and brought to the surface. That's where the crisis element of the eighth house comes up as well, because it has hidden things in it. And Venus, as the rule of the ninth house of light, illumination, knowledge, can bring it to the surface, something hidden, something that is not so much savory. If you're hiding something or someone is hiding something, there's an element that there's shame there, and it can bring those things to the surface, but nothing can heal. It will keep festering if it's hidden, and bringing it to the surface, like the sunlight, kills all kinds of fungus and bacteria and whatever, the same thing will happen. So it's, even if there is a crisis situation that towards March, April is more likely, it's good for it to happen, because Venus is a lucky planet for you. Whatever it's doing in this eighth house, which is connected to other people's resources, intimacy, secrets, sudden reversals, loans, deaths and births, rebirths, all of those crisis situations as well. It's for the good. It's for the good, because Venus is a lucky planet for you, and it's for kind of like healing energy. But as I said, on a positive level, you can receive financial support from others, or more intimacy, or light and understanding into some very hidden matters. And so on. Then another big event is that Neptune and the North Node that join the whole month of February in your seventh house. There's other planets in your seventh house. It's a big party there. It's crazy. And it's gonna continue to be in March and April, all those 3 months ahead, huge focus on your seventh house. And Venus in the eighth house, which is another relationship house, just enhances that. So this can be like life-changing events in relationships, maybe not only in February, but in the next 2-3 months, because there'll be eclipses here, there'll be in the axis of your relationships. The North Node is already in your seventh house, and it's joining with Neptune. North Node magnifies whatever it touches, and makes it happen on the material level. North Node is a very physical manifestation, activates the fate of a person's, the contracts you have of your soul, basically, the fated events. In the seventh house is connected to relationship, meeting some very important people. Most of the people that I've met, they always meet a life partner or get married, or very important business or very close relationship. Sometimes it's not just always about marriage and intimacy. Sometimes maybe a business partnership. Like for me, when I had the North Node in the seventh, because I was already married, was the most important business partnership that I met. But also I got married with North Node in the seventh, the previous time in the seventh from my son as well. So yeah, from the moon, this is very potent if you're single or if you're in a relationship. North Node there this year, you can get married, you can go to the next level, or North Node sometimes with Neptune can bring some very fated people in your life. And with Neptune, it's almost like a portal is opening. Neptune is very otherworldly planet. It's connected to at the higher vibrations of people that represent unconditional love, people that represent what you might call twin flame, soulmate kind of feeling. I cannot guarantee they're this, but the feeling is like, wow, I recognize your soul. And Neptune in Pisces is double energy like that. And the North Node, what does it do? It enhances this energy. So for some lucky ones of you, if you've earned it, or maybe it comes through divine grace, if you have this contract, it can be a window, those 2-3 months ahead with Neptune and South Node together, all those planets, where you attract this soulmate connection. But there is a low vibration to Neptune and the North Node. They're both deceptive. In Vedic astrology, North Node can have deceptive qualities, in Western Neptune has. So it might feel like, wow, I've discovered my soulmate, but it might be someone who takes you for a ride, someone who overpromises or too good to be true, or maybe they're not doing it on purpose. Maybe they themselves are not clear because there's confusion with North Node and Neptune, or ambivalence. There might be some kind of ambivalence about relationships in your life. Should I keep this person? Should I let them go? But usually North Node brings something new. So something new, and if someone new appears, they might be foreign in nature. North Node and Neptune both have this. New partners or clients that are from the other end of the world, or some more mysterious, mystical, kind of spiritual, artistic energy to the people you attract around you, or sometimes confused, and that's the other side of Neptune, otherworldly, not fully with, but there is the danger, I have to repeat it, of being taken for a ride from snake oil salespeople. Seventh house is also people you deal business with. Someone sells people as well. Or you might approach others with this. If you're in marketing, wow, you can use this combination, Neptune North Node, to really make incredible marketing campaign, reach out and glamorize people. And almost like Neptune North Node is represented like a snake. Neptune is to mesmerize, and you can almost like mesmerize clients and attract them with this influence. But, try to be as honest as possible. Keep this high vibration, because Saturn is very close. And after that, the North Node, the trickster, will join with Saturn. So if you've taken advantage of someone or misled them or were ambivalent with them, or just promised them too much, but it's not, there will be a very quick correction and payback by April, May, when Saturn and the North Node join. But the same is valid if someone also in your life, a partner, business partner, someone you collaborate with, a close friend, has been taking you for a ride, has been promising. Maybe they did it not on purpose, but maybe they've promised something they can't deliver. It will quickly become clear if someone promised you, oh, we'll make so much money, or we'll do this or that, if there is any such elements, because with Neptune North Node, we can't really see the reality too much. It looks great and you're full of wow, and there will be a correction in 2-3 months from now, a couple of months after February. But first, some opportunity can really present itself to you from others, and it might be truly a divine gift. Neptune is divine grace for us. Rahu is about material opportunities or exciting opportunities. But just know that there will be some kind of correction a little bit later into March, April, when North Node joins Saturn. And if something is not too truthful, will be revealed, or if something is not too realistic, will fall off, or there will be just the need some correction to make it more, whatever was offered to you, whatever came as an opportunity through another, to make it more realistic. Doesn't necessarily mean it will be all a lie, but there will be just correction, bringing it down, earthening it, grounding it. Or if it truly was like some kind of a scam, you would find out this as well. But still, I want, I cannot tell you, you'll be light now in February. If anything comes to you, another person or opportunity or to do something, don't do it. Not at all. Because Neptune North Node can bring something wonderful. You might do a business partnership for art, for music, for healing. You might attract more clients with North Node Neptune in some way. You just keep one in mind that North Node Neptune can have a deceptive side, but it will quickly be revealed after that. But it can bring a lot of kind of unconditional blessings for now to you, and even raise the vibration in some way. All right, and then last but not least, Mars is still retrograde most of February in your 11th house. So you might be dealing with solving some issues with friendships. I remember when Mars went retrograde in my 11th house, I had a fight with my closest friend, and we didn't even speak to each other for some time. And we were quite cautious during the retrograde period with each other. And when it turned direct, which it will turn direct for you towards the end of February, our relationship grew even closer, but with a few changes, but you might be going through something, questioning your circle, your social networks. Mars is a fixer-upper. Mars wants to cut off the unnecessary as well, maybe affiliation to certain groups that you've been a member of online or in physical, that you're rethinking, or maybe there might be some tension also with groups of people, or maybe you're working on some project with that will be business project is 11th house, long-term goals and dreams as well. You might have been working with this Mars retrograde on fixing it, improving it, correcting it somehow. And there might have been some delays about it, but towards the end of the month, if you've had any delays with income as well, with bonuses, with rewards financial, with achieving long-term goal or dreams or some business project you've been working on, or project that is connected to changing society, or project that's related to working with other people, colleagues, or big group of people, or they'll start moving forward. The delays, the corrections, the whatever, it's ending, but you're going to feel the forward progress of the results of those previous efforts and corrections more towards March onwards, when Mars is direct already in the 11th house. So there you go, Virgo. You see, there's very strong emphasis on business houses and social houses, 11th and 7th. We see a lot of the planets are there. And we'll continue in May, in March as well. So that's about connecting to others. That's about cleaning house, because Mars is still retrograde, in your relationships, in the people that you associate with, in clients or business connections. But it's also saying that you can do a lot of important things now about connecting to others, building some bridges, burning some bridges. Because here we have a process of something new coming. Here, retrograde is something that needs to be corrected from the past, and so on. But all those problems start disappearing when Mars turns direct. So yeah, connecting with others on all levels, business and so on, is also important. Social activities in some way as well. Thank you.